بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلي وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. مع بعد، مختصر سيرة الرسول بإمام محمد بن عبد الوهاب رحمه الله. Saad bin Mu'ad and Usaid bin Hudeir embrace Islam. Saad bin Mu'ad, the leader of Al-Aus, said to Usaid bin Hudeir, "Go to those two men who have come to befool the weak among us and drive them away. For Asad bin Zurara is my maternal aunt's son. Were it not for that, I would have done it myself." Saad and Usaid were the leaders of their people, so Usaid took his spear, then he approached them. And when Asad bin Zurara saw him, he said to Musab, "He is the leader of his tribe who has come to you, so speak frankly to him." Musab said, "If he speaks to me, I shall speak to him." He stood over them and said, What has brought you to us? You are befooling the weak among us. Go away. If you are harboring something bad within you." Musab said, "Or you may sit and listen. If you are pleased with what we say, you may accept it, and if you dislike it, you may hold back from that which you dislike." He said, "You have spoken fairly." Then he stuck his spear in the ground and sat, and Musab spoke to him about Islam and read the Quran to him, and he said, "And by Allah, we will see Islam in his face," before he spoke through to the radiant and joyful look on it. Then he said, "How excellent is this, and how beautiful he is! What do you do if you want to embrace this religion?" Musab said to him, "Bathe and then purify your garment, then be a witness to the truth," that is, pronounce the Shahadatan, and offer 2 rakah prayer. Usaid said, there is a man behind me who, if he followed you, his people will not hang back. So I will guide him to you now. His name is Saad bin Mu'ad." Then he took his spear and left to go to Saad, and he found him and his people sitting in their meeting place. Saad said, "I swear by Allah that he has come to you with a face different from that which he had when he left you." When he stood before the meeting, Saad said to him, "What did you do?" He said, "I spoke to the two men, and by Allah I found nothing objectionable in them. I forbid them from preaching, and they said, 'We will not do as you like.' And I have been informed that Banu Harida went out to Asad bin Zurara in order to kill him, because they know he is your aunt's son, in order to protect you." At this, Saad stood up angry and at what he had and he took his spear with him. But when he saw them both sitting calmly, he realized that Usaid had only wanted him to hear from them, and so he stood before them uttering precautions. Then he said to Asad bin Zurara, "By Allah, O Abu Mama, were it not for the relationship between us, you will not receive this consideration from me. Will you come to us in our own dwelling place, bringing something which we hate?" Asad had already said to Musab, "By Allah, the leader of his tribe has come to you. If he follows you, none of them will hold back." Musab said, or perhaps you will sit and listen, and if you are pleased with it, you may accept it, but if you dislike it, we will go withdraw you from what you dislike." He said, "You have spoken fairly." Then he stuck his spear in the ground and sat. Musa presented Islam to him and read the Quran to him, and he said, "By Allah, we could see Islam in his face before he spoke. Look the radiant and joyful look on it." Then he said, "What do you do when we went to embrace Islam?" They said, "Bathe and purify your garment, then be a witness to the truth." But that was not the Shaitan, then offer 2 rakah prayer. Then he took his spear and returned to the meeting, his place of his people. Aywa. When they saw him, they said, "By Allah, he has returned with a face different from that which he left." He said, "O Banu Abdushal, what is my position among you?" They said, "You are our leader, the son of our leader, and the voice of us, and the most trustworthy in character." He said, "The speech of your men and your women is forbidden to me until you believe in Allah and His Messenger." By the evening of that day, every single man and woman among them had accepted Islam, except Al-Usayrim, who did not embrace Islam until the day of the Battle of Uhud. On that day he embraced Islam and fought and was killed, having never prostrated even once to Allah. The Prophet said, "Amila kaidan wa akhira kathiran." His deeds were few, but his reward wa ajra kathiran, but his reward is great. Musa remained in the house of Asad, calling the people to Islam until there remained not a single house among the house of the Ansar which did not contain Muslim men and women, except the house of Banu Umayyah bin Zaid, Khatima, Wal, and Waqif. This was because among them was Al-Qais ibn al-Asrat, the poet, and they used to listen to him, and he held them back from Islam until the year of the Battle of the Trench, as the Messenger of Allah had migrated to Al-Madinah. In the following year, when the Hajj season came, those who had embraced Islam among the Ansar said, "Until when shall we leave the Messenger of Allah exiled in the mountains of Makkah and opposed?" So they departed with their polities among their people as Hajj pilgrims.